Do I have a life? No, I don't. Alright, guys. Today, I'll be reading Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Party Girl, Book 2, Part 1 of 3. So this one is 279 pages. I'll be reading in 3 parts. Each part will be 93 pages. So I just got a haircut. There's the front. There's this part. And here's the back. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's read. Okay. Here we go. Subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications. As you know, I did not show any pictures in the first Dork Diaries book. I will not be showing any pictures in the second one either. This is part 1 of 3. Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Party Girl by Rachel Renee Russell, Book 2, #1 New York Times bestselling series. This diary belongs to Nikki J. Maxwell, private and confidential. If found, please return to me for a reward. No snooping allowed. Also by Rachel Renee Russell. Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Fabulous Life. Dork Diaries 2, Tales from a Not So Popular Party Girl. Dork Diaries 3, Tales from a Not So Talented Pop Star. Dork Diaries 3.5, How to Dork Your Diary. Dork Diaries 4, Tales from a Not So Graceful Ice Princess. Dork Diaries 5, Tales from a Not So Smart Miss Know-It-All. Dork Diaries 6, Tales from a Not So Happy Heartbreaker. Dork Diaries OMG, All About Me Diary. Dork Diaries 7, Tales from a Not So Glam TV Star. Dork Diaries 8, Tales from a Not So Happily Ever After. Dork Diaries 9, Tales from a Not So Dorky Drama Queen. Dork Diaries 10, Tales from a Not So Perfect Pet Sitter. Introducing the Misadventures of Max Crumbly. Rachel Renee Russell, Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Party Girl, Aladdin, New York, London, Toronto, Sydney. To my mom, Doris, for always being there for me. Acknowledgements. To all my wonderful Dork Diaries fans, a special thank you for embracing the series so warmly and wildly. Always remember to let your inner dork shine through. Lisa Abrams, my awesome editor, thank you for the endless amount of enthusiasm and energy you brought to the Dork Diaries books. I'm so happy to be on this fabulous journey with you and your inner 13-year-old. Lisa Vega, my super dedicated art director, thank you for your hard work and creative expertise, especially on those long late nights when the janitor had turned off all the lights. Mara Anastas, Bethany Buck, Bess Braswell, Paul Crichton, and the rest of my fantastic team at Aladdin/Simon and Schuster, thank you for believing in Dork Diaries. Daniel Lazar, my incredible agent and writer's house, thank you for being all that you are. Agent, friend, advisor, coach, cheerleader, and even therapist. You've helped make my wildest dreams come true. Also a special thanks to Stefan Barr for sending me those crazy emails that made me laugh so hard I cried. Majin Nick Oblick, Cecilia De La Campa, and Anne Gahard Cowell, my foreign rights agents at Writer's House, thank you for helping Dork Diaries be read internationally. Nikki Russell, my daughter and super talented assistant artist, thank you for all your hard work on this project. I could not have done any of this without you. I cannot begin to express my gratitude. I am so lucky to be your mom. Cindy James, Corey James, Ariana Robinson, and Michaela Robinson, my tween-age nieces, thank you for being my brutally honest critique partners who somehow know what's super cool before it actually is. Friday, October 11th. I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm in the girls' bathroom freaking out. There's no way I'm going to survive middle school. I just made a complete fool of myself in front of my secret crush. Again. Alright guys, I'm going to restart. Friday, October 11th. I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm in the girls' bathroom freaking out. There's no way I'm going to survive middle school. I just made a complete fool of myself in front of my secret crush. Again. And if that wasn't bad enough, I'm still stuck with a locker right next to Mackenzie Hollister's, who, BTW, is the most popular girl at Westchester Country Day Middle School and a total snob. Calling her a mean girl is an understatement. She's a killer shark in sparkly nail polish, designer jeans, and platform Skechers. But for some reason, everyone adores her. Over here, Mackenzie, me and the guys made you lunch and saved you a seat. Thanks, hon. I'd love to sit at the nerd table, but I haven't had a cootie shot. Sorry. Pat, pat. Star Quest. Mackenzie and I do not get along. I'm guessing it's probably due to the fact that she hates my guts. She is forever gossiping behind my back and saying super mean stuff like that I have no fashion sense whatsoever, and that her school mascot, Larry the Lizard, wears cuter clothes than I do. Which might actually be true, but still. I do not appreciate that girl blabbing about my personal business. This morning she was even more vicious than usual. OMG, Nikki, could you please go write in that diary somewhere else? Your hideous green shirt is clashing with my new lip gloss flavor, and it's giving me a migraine. Me. I cannot believe she actually said that to me. I mean, how can I call a class with a flavor? Duh, they're like two totally different things. That's when I lost it and yelled, "Sorry, Mackenzie, but I'm really busy right now. Can I ignore you some other time?" But I just said it inside my head, so no one else heard it but me. And if all of that isn't enough torture, the annual WCD Halloween dance is in 3 weeks. It's the biggest event of the fall, and everyone is already gossiping about who's going with who. I just totally died if my secret crush Brandon asked me to go. Yesterday, he actually asked me to be his lab partner for biology class. I was so excited I did my Snoopy happy dance. La la la, I'm la la la, so la la la, happy. And today I had a sneaking suspicion Brandon was going to pop the question about the Halloween dance. The school days seemed to drag on forever. By the time I got to biology class, I was a nervous wreck. Suddenly a very troubling question popped into my head, and I started to panic. What if Brandon only thought of me as a lab partner and nothing more? That's when I decided to try to impress him with my charm, wit, and intelligence. I gave him a big smile and went right to work drawing all these teeny tiny lint-looking thingies I saw under the microscope. Biology, Lab 3, October 11th, microscope observations. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see Brandon staring at me with this urgent yet very perplexed look on his face. It was obvious he wanted to talk to me about something super serious. Nikki, can I ask you a really important question? That'll probably impact our immediate future. Yes, Brandon, please ask me. Do you think we need to plug this thing in? Those thingies in the microscope really were just lint. OMG, I was so embarrassed. I knew right then and there I had pretty much blown any chance of Brandon asking me to the dance. But the good news was, I had made a startling scientific discovery about the biogenetics of my intelligence and even reduced it to a working formula. My IQ. Then things got even worse. Dirty gym sock. I was in the girls' bathroom when I overheard Mackenzie bragging to her friend that she was practically almost 99.9% sure she and Brandon were going to the dance together as Edward and Bella from Twilight. I was very disappointed, but not the least bit surprised. I mean, why would Brandon ask a total dork like me when he could go with a CCP, cute, cool, and popular girl like Mackenzie? And get this, as they were leaving, Mackenzie giggled and said she was buying a new lip gloss just for Brandon. I knew what that meant. I was so frustrated and angry at myself. I waited until the bathroom was empty, and then I had a really good scream. Arg! Me. Which, for some strange reason, always makes me feel a lot better. Middle school can be very traumatizing, that's for sure. But the most important thing to remember is this. Always remain calm and try to handle your personal problems in a private and mature manner. Me having a private scream fest. Arg! Girls' restroom. 26. Saturday, October 12th. Today has been the most exciting day ever! I still can't believe I actually won first place in a $500 cash prize in our school's avant-garde art competition. Last week, without even telling me, Chloe, Zoe, and Brandon entered photos of the tattoo designs I had drawn for kids at school. So I totally freaked out when I found out I had won. Who would have thought I'd beat out Mackenzie's awesome fashion illustrations? And boy was she ticked, especially after bragging to everyone that she was going to win. I can't wait to get my hands on all that money. I had originally planned to use it to buy a cell phone, but I decided it would be more prudent to save it for art camp next summer. I'm investing in my dream of becoming an artist so I can spend all day curled up in bed in my fave PJs drawing in my sketchbook and actually get paid for it. Sweet. Oh no, I'm going to be late for work. 8:31. I love my job. 9. I'm totally exhausted. 10. Time for dinner and TV. Chips, soda. 6. Oh, well, it would be kind of cool to use the money to fix up my very drab locker. Adding a little bling would guarantee me a spot in the CCP clique. iPod stereo system, color TV plus computer monitor combo, VCR/DVD player, personal ATM, me showing off my awesome locker. ATM machine. Anyway, practically the entire school was at the Avant-Garde Art Awards banquet today. I was very shocked when Mackenzie came over and gave me a big hug. I think she only did it to make a good impression because what she said to me was not very sportsmanlike at all. Nikki, congratulations on winning first place, hun. If I had known the art show judges wanted talentless junk, I would have framed my poodle's vomit stains and entered it as abstract art. OMG, I couldn't believe she said that right to my face. She should have just scribbled, "I'm so jealous," across her forehead with a black marker. That probably would have been less obvious. I was like, "Thanks, Mackenzie, you're such a big baby, so cry me a river, build yourself a bridge, and get over it." But I just said it inside my head, so no one else heard it but me. Mainly because I'm basically a nice person and I don't like negative vibes. It had absolutely nothing to do with me being a little intimidated by her or anything. Chloe and Zoe sat right next to me during dinner. And as usual, we were acting really silly and having random giggle attacks. When Brandon came over to take a picture of me for the school newspaper and yearbook, I thought I was going to die. He suggested that we go to the atrium across the hall where the lighting was better. At first, I was happy that Chloe and Zoe wanted to tag along because I was super nervous. But the entire time he was snapping pictures, they were standing right behind him making kissy faces at me and acting all lovesick. OMG, it was so embarrassing. Chloe, Zoe. I was so angry I wanted to grab them both by their necks and squeeze until their little heads exploded. But instead, I just gritted my teeth and prayed Brandon didn't notice them goofing around behind him to act like that. Chloe and Zoe are really nice and sweet friends, but sometimes I feel more like their babysitter than their BFF. Lucky for me, when they heard that dessert was being served, they rushed back to the banquet to pay out some more. Which meant Brandon and I were all alone. Only it was kind of uncomfortable and a little embarrassing because instead of talking, we just stared at each other and then the floor and then each other and then the floor and then each other and then the floor. And this went on for what seemed like forever. Then finally, he brushed his shaggy bang out of his eyes and smiled at me kind of shy-like. "I told you were going to win. Congratulations." I gazed into his eyes and my heart started to pound so loudly my toes were actually vibrating. Kind of like standing near a car blasting your favorite song, but with the windows rolled up. And you can't really hear the melody part, but your innermost soul can feel the vibrations from the bass part going thumpity thump, thumpity thump. And my stomach felt all fluttery, like it was being attacked by a huge swarm of very ferocious yet fragile butterflies. I immediately realized I was suffering from a relapse of RCS, roller coaster syndrome. I clenched my teeth and mustered every ounce of strength in my entire body to keep myself from gleefully shouting, "Wee!" But instead, I uttered something far, far worse. "Thanks, Brandon. Have you tried those cute little barbecued wingdings? They're actually quite delicious." Did he just say wingdings? Yep, they're at the front table right near the punch. They also have honey glazed and hot and spicy, but the barbecued ones are my favorite. Actually, no, I haven't tried them. Well, you really should. So I want to ask you something about the wingdings. Brandon's face was intensely serious. No, actually, I want to know if you. I was holding my breath and hanging on to his every word. I mean, it would be totally cool if you would. Brandon, there you are. OMG, I've been looking for you everywhere. Mackenzie barged into the room and lunged straight for Brandon like an NFL linebacker trying to recover a fumbled ball. As the official school photographer, you really need to get a picture of me posing with my Fab Forever fashion illustrations. They're about to take down my display. Then she just stood there smiling at Brandon all googly-eyed, twirling her hair around her finger, which was obviously a desperate attempt to hypnotize him into doing her evil bidding. "Brandon, please hurry before it's too late," she whined breathlessly while glaring at me in total disgust like I was a huge pimple that had suddenly popped out on her nose or something. Brandon rolled his eyes, sighed, and gave me this very goofy but cute smile. "So, we'll talk later, Nikki, okay?" "Sure, see ya." As I walked back to the awards banquet, I felt very lightheaded and a little nauseous, but in a really good way. More than anything, I was now totally consumed with a burning curiosity. Brandon had been about to ask me something really important when Mackenzie had rudely interrupted him, which left me with one very obvious and compelling question. Why am I such an idiot? Wingdings, I cannot believe I had rambled on and on about the variety of delicious wingding flavors. No wonder he didn't ask me to the dance. At least my picture came out okay. Brandon is such an awesome photographer. First place. Pay to Nikki Maxwell, $500. Order of $500. Sunday, October 13th. I'm in the most horrible mood right now. I'm so totally dreading school tomorrow. If I hear one more girl mention that stupid dance, I'm going to scream. I keep hoping someone will ask me, but I know it's not going to happen. What I need is a magic love potion or something. Nikki Maxwell's Super Crush Love Potion. Maxwell's Love Potion. I would definitely use it on Brandy because that's the only way he'd ever like a loser like me. Then I'd share it with girls all over the world who are suffering from the same problem. Just one spray and your crush will fall madly in love with the first person he lays eyes on. Super Crush Love Potion. Now every girl can live happily ever after with the guy of her dreams. Poof. Or maybe not. Whoa, Mrs. Hooper, that hairnet is like so hot and I'm totally digging your meatloaf. OMG! Okay, so maybe my love potion idea is really stupid. My life is hopeless. Maxwell's Love Potion. Tonight, Mom and my little sister Brianna were putting up decorations for Halloween. I knew what was coming next because it happens every single year. Brianna sneaks up on everyone and tries to scare us with this big, stupid-looking plastic spider. It's almost like a Maxwell family Halloween tradition or something. Mom and Dad always put on this big act and pretend to be super scared just to humor her. And of course, Brianna gets a really big kick out of it. Personally, I don't think it's healthy to encourage her like that. What's going to happen when she gets older and starts attending middle school? Hey, I already know what's going to happen. Brianna's going to take that plastic spider to school and shake it at people because she thinks it's appropriate behavior. And everyone at school will think she's nuts. Then I'll have to go through all the trouble of changing my last name so no one will know she's my sister. My parents need to realize that raising an impressionable child like Brianna is a big responsibility. Anyway, I was up in my room studying for my French test. I was feeling a little grumpy because I was having a hard time remembering which nouns in French are masculine versus feminine. Sure enough, Brianna showed up just like I expected. Boo! Brianna, your fake spider on a stick prank is so totally lame. So did I scare ya? Ah! Ah! I totally freaked. And that poor spider seemed a little traumatized too. Brianna thought the whole thing was so funny. Ha ha ha, Brianna. I don't know how I thought that real spider was Brianna's fake one. Hers is purple with a little pink heart on it and is wearing high-top sneakers and a big cheesy smile. It looks like the type of spider you'd find living in a Barbie dream house or hanging out with SpongeBob SquarePants. After that experience, I'll never forget that spider in French is aura igni. But is it a masculine noun or a feminine noun? Oh crud. I'm so going to flunk this stupid test. Monday, October 14th. When I arrived at school this morning, I was surprised to see a note on my locker door from Chloe and Zoe. Nikki, guess who's going to the Halloween dance? Meet us in the janitor's closet ASAP. Chloe plus Zoe. The janitor's closet is our secret hangout. We meet there to discuss very important, private, and highly confidential personal stuff. As soon as I stepped inside, I could tell Chloe and Zoe were super excited. Guess who's going to the Halloween dance? Zoe giggled happily. I don't know. Who? I asked. I was pretty darn sure it wasn't one of us. We were the three biggest dorks in the entire school. Surprise! We are! Chloe screamed, jumping up and down and giving me jazz hands. And we've already arranged for 3 guys to be our dates. Sort of, Zoe squealed. Sort of? What do you mean by sort of? I asked. I was already starting to get a really bad feeling about this guy thing. That's when Chloe and Zoe explained their crazy plan for how we were going to snag really cool dates for the Halloween dance. All in just 5 easy steps. Step 1. We sign up to be volunteers for the Halloween dance cleanup crew. Step 2. We arrive at the dance a half hour early, pretending like we're Step 2. We arrive at the dance a half hour early, pretending like we're there to inspect for cleanliness, but instead we secretly change into our fabulous costumes. Step 3. We quickly spread the rumor that the 3 cutest guys on stage with the band are our dates, even though they're really not. Step 4. Since the band is going to be busy performing the entire night, the 3 of us will dance, eat, and hang out with one another. Step 5. We'll have fun, while everyone, including the CCPs, raves about our super cute, super talented, super pop star dates. This plan was almost as bizarre as the one where they were going to run away and live in the secret underground tunnels of the New York City Public Library. I told them there was a slight chance their phony "my date's a band member" scheme might work, but it would mostly depend on what the guys in the band actually looked like. Cute and moody music lovers. Everyone would envy us. Punked out, scary weirdos. Everyone would laugh at us. The dangerous part is that this whole thing could easily backfire and ruin our reputations, and the 3 of us already have a pretty pathetic ranking in the WCD-CCP Popularity Index. Here's a chart of the most unpopular people in our entire school. WCD-CCP Popularity Index. 9 most unpopular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Me. 1. Violet Baker. 2. Theodore L. Swagmeyer III. 3. Zoe Franklin. 4. Gender. 5. Chloe Garcia. 6. Head Lunch Lady. 7. Larry the Lizard, school mascot. 8. Nikki Maxwell. 9. Black slime, mold, growing in the locker room shower. Since there would be a substantial risk I could end up more unpopular than black slime mold, we definitely needed to come up with a way better idea. I suggested that we each make an inexpensive yet creative costume by taking a big green garbage bag and stuffing it full of newspaper and going as, drumroll please, bags of trash. How cute would that be? Especially if we were members of the cleanup crew. We'd also need a pair of those yellow latex rubber gloves. Just thinking about all the dirty things that could be lying around after a big party like that actually made me shudder. Ew! And since we didn't have dates, we could spend the entire night doing Broadway-style dance numbers, using a broom, mop, and vacuum cleaner as our dance partners. I personally thought my plan was pure genius. Us rocking it at the dance as the cleaning crew. But Chloe and Zoe were like, no offense, Nikki, but your idea is actually kind of lame. Of course, that little comment really ticked me off. Okay, girlfriends, you want to know what I think is lame? Lame is attending the Halloween dance as a cleanup crew and then lying to everyone that the band members are our dates. Chloe and Zoe got really quiet and just stood there staring at me with these big, sad puppy dog eyes. And of course I felt kind of sorry for them because I personally knew what it was like to very desperately want to attend the dance. So being the sensitive and caring friend that I am, I decided to put aside my personal feelings and sign up for the Halloween dance cleanup crew. I considered it a small sacrifice that would ultimately nurture true and lasting friendships. The sign-up sheets for the Halloween dance committees were posted on the bulletin board right outside the office door. Lucky for us, no one had signed up for the cleanup crew yet. The thing that really bothered me, though, was the sign-up sheet for chairperson of the Halloween dance committees. Sign-up sheet, Halloween dance chairperson. Violet Baker, Theodore L. Swagmeyer III, Mackenzie Hollister, to be selected by student council. For some reason, most of the people who had signed up had crossed their names off the list, which meant there were only 3 candidates for that position. Please, please, please let Violet Baker or Theodore L. Swagmeyer III be selected as chairperson. Otherwise, this cleanup crew thing was going to turn into my worst nightmare. Tuesday, October 15th. I love fifth hour because Chloe, Zoe, and I get to work as library shelving assistants, LSAs. Some kids think the library is a quiet and boring place where only dorks and nerds hang out, but we always have a blast. We put books back on the shelves. We answer the library telephone. Is this Joe's bar? Could you please page my friend? I need to bathe for a Harry Steinke guy. Library front desk. We put out new magazines. I can't believe they got back together again. Ooh, smell this perfume sample. OMG, he is so hot. We authorize bathroom passes. Okay, we just need to complete some paperwork first. I need your name, grade, date of birth, and whether you plan to go number 1, number 2, or both. 28. Restroom pass. And our librarian, Mrs. Peach, is super nice. On Friday, she bakes us these humongous double chocolate chip cookies with walnuts. Yummy. I was a little surprised when Mrs. Peach gave me a note saying I was supposed to report to the office immediately. My parents were there waiting for me. They were picking me up from school early because they wanted me to attend the funeral of a Mr. Wilbur Roach, a local retired businessman and former president of the Westchester Exterminators Association. I couldn't believe that was actually his real name. Poor guy. My parents and I had never met him, but since exterminators from all over the state were going to be there with their families, Dad thought it might be a good idea if we attended too. I was like, just great. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I had to listen to Dad's Pure Disco 3 CD the whole drive there and back. By the time I heard the song Shake Your Groove thing for the 39th consecutive time, I wanted to jump out of the car window into oncoming traffic. It goes, shake your groove thing, yeah, yeah. And then you just repeat those words 1,962 times until the song is over. The whole experience ended up being very traumatic for me. I was also upset because I had a bad case of hiccups, extremely loud ones. During the memorial service, Mom kept giving me this dirty look like I was hiccuping on purpose or something, but I honestly couldn't help it. And this guy named Mr. Hooper Dinkle got really choked up while he was up there giving the eulogy. Mom said it was because Wilbur Roach was his best friend. I think my hiccups must have gotten on his nerves or something because he stepped right in the middle of his speech, gave me the evil eye, and growled. I am so not lying. He actually growled at me. Mere words cannot express my grief over the loss of my dearly departed friend Will. Grrr. Hick, 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 me. Hick, 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 hick. My hiccups were driving everyone nuts. I was waiting for Wilbur Roach to sit up and yell at me too. Dag nabbit, child, your damn hiccups are loud enough to wake the dead. Although that would have totally freaked me out, mainly because he was supposed to be dead. Anyway, my hiccups kept getting worse. Then Mr. Dinkle got an attitude and acted pretty rude about the whole thing. Hick, 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 gulp. After Mr. Dinkle practically scared me to death and made me drink that big glass of water in front of everyone, my hiccups finally stopped, which was a good thing. I always wondered why they kept a pitcher of water up there next to the podium like that. Who would have thunk it was for an emergency cure for a case of hiccups? After all the drama of that funeral, I'm pretty sure Mom and Dad won't be dragging me to another one anytime soon. Thank goodness for that. My only worry now is that since Mr. Dinkle is super old and a part-time church organist, I might unexpectedly run into him again at some point in the future, and then he'll give me a really hard time for ruining the speech. Mr. Dinkle's revenge. Well, who do we have here? It's Little Miss Hiccups. I hope you're not expecting me to let you in. Welcome to heaven. Sign in here. Me, admissions clerk. Wednesday, October 16th. OMG, I have never laughed so hard in my entire life. My mom got up extra early this morning and tried out some homemade beauty treatment and relaxation techniques that she'd seen on television. She was wearing an oatmeal face mask with cucumbers on her eyes, and she had turned off all the lights in the family room to meditate on the meaning of her life. That's what she said she was doing anyway, although it looked to me like she was sitting in the chair snoozing. Anyway, Dad walked in and turned on the lights and totally freaked. Eek! His scream was so loud and high-pitched, I thought it was going to shatter that big window in our family room. Then, when Mom woke up and heard Dad screaming like that, she totally panicked and grabbed hold of him, which made him scream even louder. I guess Dad must have thought he was being attacked by some kind of oatmeal-crusted, cucumber-eyed zombie wearing a pink fuzzy robe with a bath towel wrapped around its head. Which, I have to admit, does sound awfully scary when you think about it. I only wish I could have caught that moment on video. I bet it would have gotten 10 million views on YouTube. Then some producer would have paid us $1 million to do our own cheesy reality show. OMG, I'm still laughing so hard my stomach hurts. BTW, I have a really bad feeling about Chloe, Zoe, and me being on that cleanup crew. Why? Because when I got to school, everyone was buzzing about the student council selecting Mackenzie to be the chairperson of our Halloween dance. Just craptastic. Of course, she made a big fat hairy deal out of the whole thing. She actually wore a special outfit for the occasion and insisted that everyone address her as Miss Chairperson. I personally thought the tiara and roses were a bit much. It's not like I was jealous of her or anything. Miss Chairperson. How juvenile would that be? The first thing Mackenzie did was call an emergency meeting during lunch. Only there wasn't any type of real emergency that I could see. 30 of us just sat there in this huge auditorium listening to her make a ridiculous speech. I just wanted to congratulate my wonderful Halloween dance committee members and share with all of you my extraordinary vision for what would be the most spectacular event our school has ever experienced. In keeping with this goal, I am officially inviting each and every one of you to my very own birthday party, which BTW has been rescheduled again for Saturday, October 19th due to a conflict with the Art Awards banquet. I proudly extend this opportunity in hopes that a few of you more, shall we say, socially challenged individuals might experience firsthand what a glamorous and exciting party is like. I almost fell out of my seat. I cannot believe Mackenzie had just called me so socially challenged right in front of everyone and invited me to her birthday party. Why would she want me at her party? Mackenzie's speech went on for another 10 minutes, and when she finally finished, all the CCPs gave her a standing ovation. Mackenzie said the committees for setup, entertainment, publicity, and decorations and food would meet daily starting tomorrow. But the cleanup crew, which BTW was me, Chloe, Zoe, Violet Baker, and Theodore L. Swagmeyer III, didn't need any meetings because it doesn't take a brain to clean up. It was very obvious to me that Mackenzie was treating us like cleanup crew members, like second-class citizens, and I didn't like it one bit. I personally felt it was of vital importance that we meet at least once to plan our cleaning strategy. Next, she encouraged everyone to come up with really creative Halloween costumes, except, of course, the cleanup crew. Mackenzie showed everyone sketches of the super cute uniform she had personally designed for us to wear the entire night. It looked like a twist between a spacesuit and flannel underwear and came with 4-inch platform boots. She said we could easily store 50 pounds of trash in each of the 2 large pockets in the front. And if we had to go to the bathroom, we could simply unbutton the large flap in the back. Our cleanup crew outfits designed by Mackenzie. Front, back. I took one look into Mackenzie's beady little eyes and knew right away she was making us wear that ridiculous uniform to publicly humiliate us in front of the entire school. But she just smiled and batted her eyelashes all innocent-like. After that meeting was finally over, I told Chloe and Zoe there was no way in heck I was going to allow that girl to embarrass us like that. But they were so excited about the possibility of going to the dance that they didn't even care. They told me I should try a little harder to be more of a team player and gave Mackenzie's uniform a chance. Because even though it was absolutely hideous on paper, once we actually tried it on, the outfit might look super cute. I was so mad I could spit. Mackenzie's meeting was a total massive waste of my time. I personally felt my lunch hour would have been better spent trying to keep down the tuna fish / meatloaf casserole leftover surprise. Ick. Milk. Thursday, October 17th. Brianna had a ballet recital this evening. I wanted to stay home and do my homework, but Mom said I had to go. Every year it's exactly the same thing. Cutesy little girls dressed up in cutesy little costumes, doing cutesy little dance routines to cutesy little songs. Brianna didn't want to go to the recital either, mainly because she hated ballet. Whenever Mom dragged her off to lessons, she would whine, "Mom, I want to be a karate chop girl, not one of those pointy toe hoppers with pink scratchy skirts." But since Mom had dreamed of taking ballet lessons when she was a little girl, she felt the next best thing was to give birth to her daughter and force her to do it instead. When I was younger, Mom tried to enroll me in a ballet class too. Only after she dropped me off, I went straight to the girls' bathroom and ditched my leotard and ballet flats and changed into more appropriate dance attire. The cool kind they wear on MTV. Can I dance? For sure. I'm a dancing maniac, kids. Even though I was super excited about dancing, my ballet teacher sent me home with a note. Madame Tutu's School of Dance. We turn clumsy, ugly ducklings into beautiful, graceful swans. Dear Mrs. Maxwell, I have carefully evaluated the dance skills of your daughter Nikki, and I suggest the following placement: beginning ballet class, beginning jazz class, beginning tap class. X, other, professional backup dancer, hip hop star on happen. Good luck. Sincerely, Madame Tutu, Madame Fufu. I thought this was great news, but Mom was pretty much heartbroken. I wasn't going to be a ballerina. Alright, guys, I totally didn't read any of this right because it's in cursive. So, you can... I gotta get a light on. Sorry, this is not a part of the book, obviously, but I do not have any idea how to pronounce this, so feel free to pause the video and read. Okay. X, other, professional backup dancer, hip-hop star on Happen. Good luck. Sincerely, Madame Fufu. Madame Fufu. I thought this was great news, but Mom was pretty much heartbroken. I wasn't going to be a ballerina. Unfortunately, Madame Fufu didn't like Brianna all that much either. She was always sending her home early for disrupting the dance class. And just last week, Brianna got in trouble for defacing ballet school property. I hate ballet. Madame Fufu. Instead of simply apologizing to Madame Fufu, Brianna lied about the whole thing. She was like, "But Mommy, my friend Miss Penelope wrote on that stupid ballet poster, not me." That was her story, and she was sticking to it. But everyone knows Miss Penelope is actually Brianna's own hand with the face doodled on it. Miss Penelope, you better not sneak those cookies and shove them into your mouth, or we're both going to be in big trouble. Everyone except Brianna. Huh? It's quite obvious to me my kid sister has some serious mental issues. I'm just saying, Overall, the recital went okay, except for the last dance number called Fairies and Flower Friends Have Fabulous Fun. Brianna just stood there on the stage shivering with this terrified look on her face. I felt kind of sorry for her. Brianna. Although I have to admit it was partly my fault. Brianna has this thing about the tooth fairy. She's been scared to death of her ever since I told her the tooth fairy took teeth from little children and superglued them together to make dentures for old people. The tooth fairy gluing teeth to make dentures. 1. Mr. Brown. 2. Mrs. Smith. 3. Mrs. Robbins. 4. Mr. Shaw. 5. Mr. Hanson. 6. Mr. Booker. Kids' teeth. I totally meant it as just an innocent little joke, but now she's too afraid to go to the bathroom by herself at night. Anyway, after the recital was over, we were getting ready to leave when Mrs. Clarissa Hargrove, one of the ballet moms, came over and gave Brianna an invitation to a Halloween party for the ballet class. She said it was going to be held at the Westchester Zoo in the Children's Petting Zoo building. I was a little surprised when Mrs. Hargrove congratulated me on my art award. She said she was desperately looking for an artist to paint faces for the ballet party and was wondering if I would be interested. Apparently, her niece, who also attends WCD, told her I was the best artist in the entire school and suggested that she asked me to help out. And get this, Mrs. Hargrove offered me $150 to paint faces and help with games for a couple of hours. I was like, well, heck yeah, for $150 I would have painted her entire house, inside and out. It's not like I was going to be doing anything important on Halloween night anyway, except maybe cleaning up after the Halloween dance. And now I had a really good excuse for not doing that phony my date's a band member thing with Chloe and Zoe. Mrs. Hargrove said she would buy the paint and brushes. Mrs. Hargrove said she would buy the paint and brushes and drop everything off next week. So now I'm sitting in my room staring at a check for $150. I can't believe I finally have the money to get that cell phone. I've been wanting. Yahoo! La la la, I'm getting la la la, a cell phone. Friday, October 18th. I'm still obsessing over what Brandon wanted to ask me that night at the awards banquet. According to Mackenzie and all the latest gossip, he already had a date for the Halloween dance. He already has a date for the Halloween dance. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe he still wants to interview me about winning the art show since he asked me about it 9 days ago. Whenever I see him in class, he just says hi and bye, and that's pretty much it. He's definitely a lot quieter than he used to be. Or maybe he just doesn't want to, or maybe he just doesn't want me, or maybe he just doesn't want to be seen in public talking to a big dork like me. Mackenzie doesn't help things either. Every time she sees Brandon and me near each other, Mackenzie doesn't help things either. Every time she sees Brandon and me near each other, she rushes over and tries to flirt with him by twirling her hair. She's been doing this all week. I definitely think she's up to something, but I don't know what. I finally mentioned the whole Brandon thing to Chloe and Zoe while we were putting away books. Chloe, who BTW is an expert on guy stuff, said I should simply ask him what he wanted. I told her I had already tried to do that, but it was really difficult to talk to him during class with Mackenzie always butting in. And if I asked him to meet me in the janitor's closet for a little privacy, he would think I was a weirdo. Chloe and Zoe agreed with me 100%. Not about it being hard to talk to Brandon during class, but about him thinking I was a weirdo. Then Zoe said she had overheard Mackenzie bragging in gym class that the editor of the school newspaper had assigned Brandon to cover her birthday party as a personal favor. That's when Chloe said, hey, I have an idea. If Brandon's going to be at Mackenzie's party, why don't you just talk to him there? It'll only take a few minutes and then you can leave. Are you crazy? I screamed. There is no way in heck I'm going to a party by myself with Mackenzie and all those CCPs. That's when Chloe got this big sly grin on her face and started doing jazz hands. I was like, uh-oh, not another of her wacky ideas. Nikki, you're not going there alone because we're coming with you, Chloe shouted excitedly. I cannot believe Chloe and Zoe both volunteered to go with me to Mackenzie's party. They said it was for moral support and because they're my BFFs, and not because they wanted to have fun, dance, or flirt with their single crushes, Jason and Ryan, who BTW might ask them to the Halloween dance. Nope, we all agreed that Mackenzie's party was going to be strictly business. I had originally planned to use the $150 check for Mrs. Hargrove to buy a new cell phone, but when I checked my closet, the only super fancy party dress I owned was from second grade and had buttons and bows all over it. And I want to be caught dead wearing that plain old dress from the awards banquet. So I decided to use my cell phone money to buy a glamorous designer's semi-formal dress to wear to Mackenzie's party. And for once, my mom actually agreed to take me to the mall instead of our usual discount department stores. I was like, yes. While Mom helped Brianna shop for a Halloween costume, I went from store to store trying on the most fabulous dresses. I even found shoes, jewelry, and other cool stuff to match each one. I actually felt like I was doing a photo shoot for America's Next Top Model. All I needed was for Tyra Banks to suddenly appear. She'd smile at me in another mono very warmly and say, I hold 2 photos in my hand, but only one of you can continue in this competition. The ugly, lazy girl got to pass and go home, y'all. OMG, I just love that girl. I think she's a wonderful role model for teens. Anyway, I had a blast trying on all those clothes. Wacko, emo, drama queen mean, baggy shabby chick, raging rebel rocker, goth girl groovy, very scary vampy, cos girl cutie, silly Sally Buntant. Unfortunately, none of these styles reflected the real and true me. The mall was going to close in less than an hour, and I was starting to panic. If I didn't find a dress, I couldn't go to Mackenzie's party. Suddenly, there it was. But the only dress in my size was on this very snotty-looking mannequin in the window. So I rushed over to this very snobby-looking sales clerk and tapped her on the shoulder. Sale. And said, "Excuse me, ma'am, but I absolutely love that dress in the window. Could you please take it off the mannequin?" But she was very busy putting on a very colorful display of toe socks, and I'm guessing she did not want to be disturbed, because she just glared at me and said, "Young lady, can't you see I'm busy? Now shoo, before I call security." I was totally shocked by her totally inappropriate behavior. I even considered it logic I complained with the manager since this was supposed to be an exclusive store for upscale customers. Like, who in their right mind would even want to buy a pair of toe socks? I'm just saying. For you, my love. You shouldn't have. Anyway, I really, really loved that dress, and there was no way I was leaving that store without it. So I decided to sneak inside the window display and take the dress off the mannequin myself. I mean, how hard could it be? Lucky for me, the only other person around was a little old lady browsing the support pantyhose. Things were going really well until I accidentally knocked her over, and her head popped right off. Not the little old lady's head, the mannequin's. I was like, oh crud. Every time I tried to stand her up, and she would just teeter back and forth and fall right over again, and her head would roll across the floor like a bowling ball. To make matters worse, a crowd of people had gathered around the window and were staring at me. And this toddler was crying really loud because that headless mannequin must have looked pretty dang scary. Anyway, after what seemed like forever, I finally got that mannequin to stand up. I also found a new outfit for her to wear. Mercy me. Wow! What the? Sale. Then I paid for the dress and got the heck out of there. Before that mean sales clerk called security and had me arrested for vandalizing the window display. Believe me, I won't be shopping at that swanky department store anytime soon. Saturday, October 19th. OMG, I can't believe what just happened to me at Mackenzie's party. I have never been so humiliated in my entire life. Her party was at a ritzy country club and looked like something straight out of that MTV show, My Super Sweet 16. A humongous room had been converted into a dance club, complete with a stage, a DJ, and strobe lights. And to really make things upscale, a private chef was preparing sushi and freshly baked pizza, while a Starbucks barista served mocha frappuccinos, caramel lattes, and strawberry banana Vivanu smoothies. All the guys were decked out in suits and ties, and the girls were wearing party dresses by all the most famous designers. There must have been 200 kids there, and everyone was dancing and having fun. I was like, wow, Chloe and Zoe looked fantastic, and they said I looked like I was like, wow, Chloe and Zoe looked fantastic, and they said I looked like a glamorous Hollywood Sally Buntant. The three of us felt super nervous and totally out of place being there with all those CCP kids. We placed our presents for Mackenzie on an overflowing gift table, and then tried to act coolly nonchalant. Like we really weren't dorks, and it really wasn't the first and only middle school party we'd ever been invited to. But Zoe kind of messed up our very cool party girl cover. Suddenly her eyes widened to the size of golf balls, and she let out a high-pitched squee. On a nearby table was this huge chocolate fountain. It had a fancy crystal platter piled high with an assortment of fresh-cut fruit for dipping into the warm chocolate. The three of us practically ran over to take a closer look. It was the most awesome thing ever. And while we were standing there, the strangest thing happened. Jason and Ryan walked right up to Chloe and Zoe and asked them to the dance. The three of us just froze and went into total shock. M. I thought for sure we were going to need one of those defibrillator thingies that medics use when people have heart attacks. Chloe and Zoe just stood there blinking with their mouths dangling open like deer caught in headlights or something. They looked at me and then the guys, and then back at me, and then at the guys, then back at me, and then at the guys again. This went on like forever. Finally, I spoke up. Actually, they loved to dance. That's when Chloe and Zoe started blushing profusely. Sure, Zoe squeaks. Okay, I guess, Chloe giggled. Then they both squeezed my arm, and because I'm their BFF, I knew just what they were thinking. That maybe the guys were going to ask them to the Halloween dance. I kind of winked and said, hey, go right ahead. I'm going to try this yummy chocolate fountain. Have fun, okay? Chloe and Zoe smiled nervously as the four of them made their way to the crowded dance floor. I was so happy for them. I couldn't make up my mind which fruit I wanted to try first. Strawberry, apple, pineapple, banana, or kiwi. However, since it was free, I just piled a few of each on my plate and then drizzled warm chocolate over the whole thing. I couldn't wait to dig in. It was hard to believe I was actually enjoying myself at Mackenzie's party. If only I could find Brandon and finally get to talk to him about that interview or whatever, it would be a perfect night. I was a little surprised when Mackenzie and her BFF Jessica walked up to me and started talking. OMG, I can't believe you actually came, Mackenzie said, smiling at me, and your dress and shoes are super cute. Wait, don't tell me. You ready to lost and found? I gritted my teeth, took a deep breath, and then plastered a fake smile on my face. Happy birthday, Mackenzie, and thanks for inviting me. I didn't want to waste any of my energy dealing with her drama. The only reason I had come to her stupid party was to talk to Brandon. Suddenly, Jessica stared at me and then scowled. Okay, guys, we're going to leave off on that little cliffhanger of Jessica scowling, but what is she scowling at? I don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah, there it is. Hope you enjoyed reading Dork, Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Particle, Book 2. That was part 1 of 3. We just read the start of the book to pages 93, and we left off on 94. So I believe next video it'll be 94 to 90. I'm pretty sure it'll be 94 to 197. No. Wait. So we're on 94. 94. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart, guys. Currently, I'm having a big brain fart. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much it, I think. 197. I think we're going to read 9. No, I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't care. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Reading Dork, Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Particle, #1 New York Times best-selling series by Rachel Renee Russell. Part 1 of 3, the first 93 pages of this really good book. Front, side, and back. Yep, there's the number 2. Hope you enjoyed. Let's do a little ASMR. And yeah, there it is. Dork, Diaries, Tales from a Not So Popular Party Girl. Part 1 of 3. Subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!